Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's buried in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Quick Bang. I'm Matty. I'm joined by Leon and Kaiser tonight. How you doing, guys?
Good, thanks.
Good, thanks, mate.
Good. We've got a wee Hibs 1, St Johnstone 0. So, Leon, I'll come to you first, mate. What did you think of the game?
Aye, the result first, brilliant. Finally get out of them and with St Johnstone done. So, I was really delighted with it. I managed to just watch the sports scene and that, the highlights, and you forget how many chances we had and good opportunities we had in the game, and because of the way the game was falling out and you were waiting on that sucker punch, I thought we done really well. Again, I had zero expectations of the game because Hibs St Johnstone is always a slog to watch. St Johnstone stifle the game. They try. It's like the man marked the entire game. Ken, they didn't let anybody take a year. Didn't anybody open up. They follow their men left, right to centre, and it's just a hard watch. So I was just overall, I was just delighted with the game. Again, that was just the result. Sorry, because I was no expectations yet. I did have a wee sneaky suspicion we were going to do well today because football goes on about us now. Obviously, we've had the draw against St Mirren and Dundee and that, and the St Mirren was a bit of Serie in, but overall, I mean, up in Dundee and that, we've looked really, really good and really resilient, So I'm just really happy with it, to be honest.
Nice. What about you, Kaiser?
Aye, definitely what Leon said with St Johnstone, didn't we? I think that's a bang on analysis here. The first half again, it wasn't great. I think the passing was a bit sketchy at times. I think I don't know if it was to do with the formation again. We've tried to move it about, but I think Allen and kind of McGuinness were a wee bit nullified to the game, and they didn't really seem to be making an impact. I thought Nisbet, contrary to a lot of kind of our comments on social media, I think Nisbet to start off with looked quite bright. And I think a lot of Nisbet's work gets done off the ball, and people kind of didn't see that. But he was making runs, he was setting stuff up. Obviously, I think we did put a lot of threat into the box with deliveries and stuff like that. They just weren't accurate. I think Newell kind of put the ball in for that basically caused that inverted commas penalty. Beaton had an absolute fucking howl of the day. I was calling him for absolute everything until he came up with that penalty shout, and then all was forgiven. To be honest with you, I'll take Beaton every week as long as we're getting a penalty. We've turned into Rangers with these penalties and all. Every fucking game we go, we're getting a penalty. But into the second half, I thought we looked a bit. We kind of started to kick on a wee bit. I thought Scott Allen what he normally does is he starts quite bright and starts to kind of tether off, whereas in the day's game I thought he started quite slow and started to pick up a bit. I thought the lob that he pulled off that would have been a stunning goal, but just the control that he had to pull that off. And then after the game, obviously, with what Jack Ross was saying, that I think Jake Doyle-Hayes, big shout to Jake Doyle-Hayes and all, when he came on, he changed the game and all. Going for the second balls and the work that he done was phenomenal, and he definitely gave us that what we're missing in midfield. But just going back to what Ross was saying after the game about Boyle no training, Jake Doyle-Hayes no training, McGuinness struggling after COVID, Murphy and Doig obviously being out injured, and we're second, we're undefeated, we're in a semi. It's amazing, and we're fucking beat St Johnstone, so you can't be any happier as a high B, and if you are, you need your fucking head checked.
What did you think of the penalty shouts in the first half, Leon? So there's one for Nisbet with the keepers maybe got a touch to it first, and then Scott Allen also had a no bad shout for a penalty. Saw it in the sports scene highlights, and it looked a bit more than at the time. What did you think?
Well, when I seen the Scott Allen, I was a bit like, I wasn't what a shout for it, but it was the game that it's the kind of smartness of getting the nudging and getting knocked over and stuff. And I was like, the old thing about if it was anywhere else in the park, I would have 100% have been a free kick. But when I seen it, I said that to the boy. I was like, it goes like that would be a free kick outside the box. But I didn't care if I'd want that given as a penalty. Because it was really it was right. It was a bit weird, but it was if it had been given, nobody could have argued it. Nobody could have argued it if it had been given. The penalty we were given was also was soft. And what was it? What was the argument again? There was another one,
So there was Nisbet got taken down by the goalkeeper.
That's right, actually, the keeper, aye. So when I sat in the stand, I was like directly watching it, and I thought, I was like, it looked like the keeper did get a hand to the ball, but I watched it again on some sports scene, in the highlights, and for me, it looked more a penalty on the highlights than it did in real time. So I was a bit, I don't know. At the time, I was like, I shouted for it, obviously, but at the time, as you do, but I wasn't, I thought the keeper got his hand to it, the Nisbet, but again, when I seen it on sports scene, I was like, that could have been given as well. So it's just one of them, And maybe that's played in the keeper's mind, the ref's mind with the penalty we got.
Maybe what about that penalty? Kaiser, I'll come at you. The penalty we did get, was it a penalty? Do you think?
Is that still more, mate? I mean, that McCart definitely made himself fractionally bigger. Now that fraction might have been a millimetre, but the rules are that player's making himself bigger. I think it hit his body, to be honest with you. I've kind of commented on that, but I've not actually watched it back to see if it actually hit his hand or no. And I think when you're looking at it, obviously when I was watching it live, Beaton's obviously he's got players in front of him, so I think he's just made a bit of a guess there. And it's worked out in our favour, but we've had them against us, so it's one of these ones, isn't it? It's the swings and roundabouts mentality, and I know there's a lot getting made in the media about this penalty, controversial decisions, see Hibs winning and things like that, and that seems to be the story, but as I was kind of saying on the group chat earlier on, there's absolutely fuck all getting said about the other two penalties that we could have potentially had. It's all just seems to be, this one penalty that at the end of the day, Hibs were the better team today. We put more threat into the box. We had more shots at the goal, and I thought we were the better team today. And it's just football that a decision. It was got to take something like that for it to separate the teams, but just luckily for us, it was for Hibs this time and not against us.
Richard Gordon on Sports Sound was fucking livid that we got it. Like he was devastated. I think if you listen to the Sports Sound, right, and sometimes I think I get paranoid about it. Like they just didn't like Hibs, and I'm sure every fan probably thinks they didn't like that kind of the rain club. But even so they moaned about the penalty, and then they were talking about Celtic. They says, Celtic they're behind Rangers, Hearts, Dundee United, St Mirren. I think it was St Mirren was the other one. I'm going, there's another club there that are fucking behind as well, but you've not mentioned them, Anyway, the second half, Leon, Hibs seemed to step up, and I thought second half we were by far and away the better team.
I thought hats off to Jar Ross. Took me again off, obviously, and I was a bit surprised at that because how influential he's been for Hibs. Jake Hayes came on and made a massive difference. Like you said, winning the second balls and keeping the ball moving. Because it was the hardest part with St Johnstone is try to keep playing. Because they want you stop it, they want the free kicks, they want the fouls, they want to slow the game, do not hit you in their moments, But I thought we did really well. Second half, we moved the ball about pretty well. I still felt, like you said at the start, it was just still so St Johnstone. Like we say this all the time. You could literally watch every game over and over, and you probably been able to pick them apart, kind of like how they ebb and flow. But it was not. I thought it was really good in the second half, and they turned the screw in the hut, and we were on top of them. I mean, when we got the penalty, I felt someone was coming, but you felt I didn't think watching back 80 minutes of that game before near the end, and fans were going to be a bit edgy, but I didn't feel like St Johnstone were going to win that game. I didn't feel they were going to beat us. I felt if anyone was coming, it was coming for us. I wasn't worrying as the game was going on. I was quite comfortable watching it. Whereas before, I've watched them against St Johnstone and been like, we're not going to score here. Okay, we're not going to score. We're not going to get nothing. They're going to score.
Aye. So. And a few chances second half for Nisbet as well, Kaiser.
Aye, it was quality again, innit? But I don't know. I think it's hard with Nisbet being where he is now, and I think it's kind of been shouted out before that he's missing Dodge. He plays a lot better with Dodge here or somebody up kind of supporting him, and it's a shame for him now because he's just not getting the goals. But just lucky for us now, Martin Boyle's absolutely on fire, absolutely on fire. So he is. But nah, with Nisbet and all, I think his decision making could have been better. With the couple of shots that he done where he could have turned the player, but he's just kind of scrapped a shot away, or he could have maybe squared the ball after Boyle. Well, I think that was the last one. I think his decision making was a bit off the day, but it's a different story because we've come away with the 3 points.
Jiggy's form's playing on his mind because you've seen it was the decision making the day. I thought that was the main part of it. Should have passed when he shot when he should have passed, and Ken.
He didn't look up. He didn't fucking look up. That's what he done. He
cut back, and I was raging. I was raging at the end. I mean, I can't what he's like. I think it feels, but I mean, like, I can imagine what it feels like being a striker and going on a run like that, and not scoring goals, and just needing that goal, and obviously maybe seeing a wee bit of criticism coming his way, and he's maybe thinking, I've got a chance of shooting here, but that at the end was criminal. That was a cutback every day of the week. Anybody, even at 5-a-sides, and you get doing that shot, that far end, they get doing right to the edge of the line. He came, if he smashed the ball back, there's going to be somebody coming in. And you seen Boyle, he put so much effort into getting there. As soon as you seen him break away, he was on his heels, like he was on his toes, already to tap it in. But it was a bit of pisser there.
And the red card for St Johnstone, guys, would St Johnstone get any complaints about that?
It's fucking it's out of order, innit? I thought McCart had a good game, and I think that wee sarcastic clap that he done, obviously that's kind of been off the back of being a bit infuriated, obviously with the penalty. He'll be fucking raging with that, and then with the decision went against him and he's clapped the lines. But I think in that instance, John Beaton could have just grabbed him and says, "Hey, fucking calm down, son." I don't know why we book him for it, but you've seen it being done before. It's dissent in it, so you can get a yellow for that, and just unfortunately lined himself up for it. But I thought it was a bit harsh.
What did Jinky McCart?
What was that? I thought he was good.
I thought he had a good game.
Some of his passing was quality.
I thought he got us right into the game, obviously, kind of getting the penalty, which was good, and then helping us see it out as well, which was quality too. So I got 15 out of 15 for me for McCart's performance. I thought he was unlucky the one with the dissent, right? So I think it's because he's done the clapping, and referees are fucking. They'll let them players shout at them and no bother their arse, and they give them a wee wide clap, and it's like straight out with the yellow card. Because you look at Cadden got fouled by the St Johnstone left back, I think, in the second half. It kind of one of those ones where he's trying to shield the ball out, and the boys pulled him, fouled him, and then cleared it, and the linesman's not giving him like anything. And Cadden for absolutely tears a strip off the linesman. He's running down, chasing the boy, still shouting at the linesman, has a go at the referee, and then goes back and has another go at the linesman. You're thinking, that's dissent. Like, if you're going to be consistent, if you're John Beaton, then and I don't think he did book him for it. Maybe
I didn't even go to work with him.
Which was mental. I mean, Cadden was right to be annoyed because it should have been a foul, but it's like you can see why you'd be pissed off if you're a player and one player's getting away with it. Same with Liam Craig, right? I think in the first minute or something when he fouled Scott Allen.
There was a few, see with Rooney in that as well, there was a few times where the players were getting pulled in. You could see their tops and their arms and that getting pulled, and John Beaton just he just wasn't interested at all.
Nah.
I can't football fans have a go about referees, but it was terrible today.
It was bad.
Really bad.
I think it's probably credit to the players that they did totally lose control of the game, because you sometimes see
it wasn't getting anything.
Like a physical game as well. Like sometimes a physical game, if the referee's not got a head at it, it gets out of hand and it makes a right mess of it. But the players probably done him a wee bit of favour by not going totally rage. But Porteous's booking was a bit of a joke as well, because I think he was fouled by what's the St Johnstone forward's name? Kane. Aye, I thought Kane fouled Porteous and waited for Porteous to touch him and then just get the big swan dive to.
How good was Porteous today as well?
He was amazing.
Brilliant. He cruised it. I feel like it was a lot of times just taking charge of situations as well. Like a couple of times he actually came over and he was like getting in the way of Hibs players to take charge, take the ball and get cleared and stuff. Really good.
Yeah, that
Like,
challenge he pulled off with Stevie May, I know, it was amazing.
aye, brilliant.
Stevie May was through, it was quality, and he just gunned him down, didn't he? And it was got the ball and that as well as a nice clean tackle. So
It looks like a real leader as well.
It was between him and Martin Boyle the day for man of the match. Yeah.
Aye.
I was just about to come on to that because Boyle got the sponsors man of the match, but I thought Hanlon had a really good game. I could
Aye. Mm-hmm.
Well, you talk about Porteous. Porteous was outstanding.
Hanlon's one of them as well. He'll get through a game, you'll not even notice he's there, and that's and he's just so good at that. He just does this. He just does everything. The simple things. He wins his challenges. He gets his clearances in, but he doesn't do nothing OTT at times. And the games he just cruises through, and it just shows you how good a player he is at times.
Like Doig and McGinn though as well. Doig and McGinn had, I thought they had good games of them. Doig had some kind of a really good passes and set up a few crosses and stuff like that as well. And McGinn, but they needed to seem to kind of fade away in the background as well because they're doing their jobs.
Yeah, the great battle with Rooney, like up and down that side.
Aye.
He done well considering obviously the Scottish Cup final. It was him Rooney getting on top of Doig with the header and getting obviously like a couple of games last season. But he's definitely grew into it, like, definitely.
There was a header earlier on, I think, that Doig won against Rooney. And you saw him going in and really physical into the jump, to make sure he won it. Just that wee early marker. I thought Doig did really well against him. Right, we'll wrap up. But just before we do, we've got the Rangers next weekend at Ibrox. You've got the beam back?
Thinking about it. I'm definitely thinking about it. It's a brilliant idea.
That's good shout, eh?
I'd like. I don't know. I presume they'll do it in the West. I think they'll probably open the West stand up first.
Aye.
And work their way around, obviously, for the visual, because I wouldn't know I'd be sitting in my East stand with my head turned the whole time. 90 minutes, 20 minutes.
That'd be fair, eh?
I tell you what, honestly, I've said that before. These screens are class. Absolutely brilliant. The wee montage at the start of that with the goals and just even the replays, putting the replays up in that, absolutely brilliant. Like, really, it makes a massive difference to the game for me, right?
They're not allowed to show contentious replays, eh? I was talking about it with Josh because, like, when the Scott Allen one went down and he says, how are they not showing that? I was like, well, because if the referee's fucked it up, basically, then he sees it. And then obviously he can't change his mind. He says, but they should be able to change their minds. Can they? But then what if St Johnstone had a penalty shout like that? And you would just be like, fucking, didn't show the replay. You just couldn't work it like that, you know? No. So how do you think it'll go, Kaiser? I think, well, we've got a chance next weekend.
I think we turn up. I think I'm not going to say we've not turned up because we're sitting second, we're undefeated, right? So we're obviously turning up. I hope by this point Murphy and Doidge are back. I don't know if they're going to be able to just get chucked right back in the team, but I think we're missing Murphy on the left now. I think Doig's done a good job today, but I think we're missing that threat on the left. Still not convinced about the kind of a formation botch job that's going on now. But I think if we can get Doig back, I think against Rangers, we've got no fear against Rangers. We shouldn't fear them. They're nothing to write home about. They're beatable and they're there to be beat. And it's games like that some of our players will actually kind of a step up to the point. But after the day's game, and obviously Doig gone down, Nisbet gone down, just hopefully there's no injuries there. But no, I'm kind of confident that we can win it if we turn up on the day. We can win it. We can beat anybody if we turn up on the day. Just hopefully we turn up and hopefully we maybe get Murphy or Doig back. That'd be brilliant.
What about you, Liam? How do you think it'll go?
I'm hoping it's not like last season's with I'm just like getting the Rangers scoring and the game's sort of dying out. And if we're at full strength and the team turn up, we've easily got the ability to beat Rangers, 100%. I'd even say total Rangers at their top end. The way we're playing, if we can get at the top end, we can match them. No baller. It's just 2 turns up on the day for me. But Rangers are sort of getting along. They're getting the results. They're getting their 3 points. Watch the game, the Dundee game, bits of that as well. And Dundee had their chances, like serious chances. The penalty miss was the save, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Getting that. I reckon if Dundee had scored that penalty, they probably could have went on and won it in the way they were playing.
Are Rangers in Europe on Thursday night?
Aye. Leverkusen? No, Celtic Leverkusen.
Sparta Prague. They're away to Sparta Prague. So I always think you've got a shout against the Glasgow teams after a European game. I think we were quite lucky in recent years that we've played them sort of on the back of one of them. So hopefully
Oh,
they go
massive squad, don't they?
Aye, I know.
I just
know.
tried to Google the Rangers fixtures there, and I wrote Rangers D, and the next thing came up, he's died. With Van Dam. I split that guy. So
Sparta Prague will win the
there
Czechs.
you go. So hopefully that affects them.
Aye. Rangers have got a good reputation with Czechs. They normally leave them bouncing, so
Yeah.
right. That's all we've got time for the night anyway on that note. So we'll be back with Longbangers tomorrow night. If you've got any good talking points for the game, just tweet us and we'll cover them off. Leo.
County line, I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't